Hi, my name is Anna Wollaeger, and I am a part of Section 1 of Biology 1951 this semester. I am also a part of Team 7, and for my biology role model project, I chose Susanne Foitzik. Just to note, all my pictures in here are hyperlinked. So, a little bit of background and life information on Susanne. She is a German ecologist and evolutionary biologist, and she primarily focuses on ants in her research, which makes her a myrmecologist. She is 52 years old, as she was born on November 30th in 1969 in Diehersberg, Germany. She also has 2 kids who are very important to her, and she makes sure to spend a lot of time with them throughout the hustle and bustle of being a frontier STEM researcher. She found her love for science in high school, or the German equivalent, and decided on evolution and ecology in university, where she also found myrmecology to be her true love and pride and joy. In her free time, she likes to try new restaurants and read recent scientific publications. So to go a little deeper into her education, in 1995 she got her diploma in biology from Julius Maximilians University in Würzburg, Germany, and in 1998 she ended up getting her doctorate in biology from the same university. From 1998 until 2000, she was a postdoctoral fellow at Colorado State University, so she's actually done a couple years of research out here in the United States, before going back from 2000 to 2004 to be a scientific assistant at the University of Regensburg back in Germany. To go a little deeper into her employment history, from 2004 to 2010, she was a professor in behavioral ecology at Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, Germany. And from 2010 till today, she is a professor in evolutionary biology at Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany. So for her current research, she has written 2 books in the last 2 years. These are my primary literature sources. She has written Planet of the Ants, which was published on March 29th, 2022, and Empire of Ants, which was published on April 6th in 2021. These go really deep into, into the societal complex structure of ants, and also the projects she's been doing over the past couple years. Even right now, she is, currently conducting research on many different projects, such as the genome-wide detection of selection and adaptation in a co-evolving slave-making ant and its host pair, the ultimate and proximate aspects of spatial learning in an individually foraging social insect, and the role of gene regulation in the division of labor in ants. Now, she is also part of many other current projects that are going on at this time, all of which are listed on her university page, which I have linked, or given the source for down below, and linked at the end of this presentation. So to look a little deeper into what Susanne actually does, she is a myrmecologist, like I said, which is a branch of entomology specifically studying ants and ant species. Susanne has spent years traveling to study different species of them, as their social systems are incredibly complex. This article from the Experiment Publishing details the differences between smaller and larger ants, and ants that are mainly foraging versus ants that actually hunt. It's very, very interesting. Slave-making ants, which are her primary focus, steal the young of other species of ants and raise them as workers in their own colonies. And what's really interesting is that Darwin actually talked about the habit of slave-making in general in his book, The Origin of Species, and Susanne actually got her inspiration from that. So Susanne's most recent paper was titled Desert Ants Learn to Avoid Pitfall Traps While Foraging. Now, this paper observes the behavioral patterns of the species of ants seen in Niger while foraging in relation to pitfall traps laid by sit-and-wait predators. Now, pitfall traps are generally a hole in the ground that has been dug and then covered by some sort of distraction so that the prey falls right into it. And sit-and-wait predators for ants generally include spiders and other small insects that would like to eat them. So the way that she conducted this experiment was that she observed 2 separate colonies of ants who had like a home base that was separated from their manufactured environment. And they varied the number of pits in the environment from no pits, which is the control, to 3 pits and then to 6 pits. Runs to get the food reward were started, and the number of workers that fell into the traps over a certain amount of time were recorded. The results indicated that desert ant workers learned to avoid pitfall traps and discover food faster with successive runs, published by Foitzik in 2022 in her paper. Here you can see a diagram, a couple figures from her experiment. On the left, you can see the actual setup for the experiment, the nest being the home base, and then the right side being the environment. You can see the pitfall traps that they laid in the experiment, and then the H up there is the food reward. On the right, you can see some data that they collected and an image of the ant species that they tested. So, Susanne has done some major research on ant colonies with many, many discoveries. She's one of the leading researchers in this field, and her studies have dug deeper into the incredible social structure of ants and how their genomes cause them to develop social habits that are eerily similar to our own society. As myrmecology is such an area with really, really small amount of knowledge, Susanne plans to continue pursuing her current research, as her project results always lead her to asking new questions and making new discoveries in this field. Sorry. Why I look up to Susanne, she is so dedicated to this field. She's truly found something that she loves. And she has made groundbreaking discoveries in her field and been able to relate her discoveries to other species, which has in turn influenced discoveries in other fields, such as things dealing with mammals and reptiles. I also think that being a woman in STEM is just awesome, and we should just promote that 100%. And she didn't actually know where her science career was going to go, like in the specifics of biology, until she found myrmecology during university and discovered that she absolutely loved it. And it really inspires me that over my time at the University of Minnesota, I'm going to find something that I love just as much as she loves myrmecology. In relation to our class, week 2 in Bio 1951 is all about evolution, and that is a primary focus of Susanne's work. Especially as I talked about in her most recent paper, those ants changed over time, even just like that very small amount of time, and I think that's really cool. And so she studies that on a much larger scale as well. In addition, her work also focuses on genetic aspects such as gene regulation and how it can affect the ant's social dynamics, how the presence of a parasite can affect gene regulation in an ant, and genomic differences in a slave-making ant versus their workers. All of these are detailed in the article down below. Our class studies genes and evolution. We have and we will continue to, and I think it's really cool that I can see that research, or those topics featuring in a big researcher like Susanne's. These are all the sources I've used. They are all linked here for you if you'd like to visit any of them. And I thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Thanks.